Hello guys, I am Edvinas, a .NET software engineer, and in this video I will show you how to install and prepare Visual Studio for development. Alright, so I'll be using Firefox as my browser. The first thing that we need to do is go to Google and type in Visual Studio download and press enter. Usually the first link will be the one that we are looking for, so you can click it. Or you can go to the video's description. I'll add the download link there as well. This will open you with Visual Studio download page, which has 3 editions. The one that we are interested in is Community. To give you a brief overview of the differences between these editions, you can go to this link, which will provide you an in-depth overview of every edition that they have. But basically, what is the difference between community and professional? That this professional edition allows you to get a higher revenue than 1 million US dollars per year. And also it works for bigger organizations than 5 users. So if your team consists of up to 5 people and you don't get 1 million or more US dollars per year using Visual Studio, you can just go ahead and click free download. This will redirect you to file download page. Usually it starts in a few seconds, but if you don't get this prompt, then you should click here to retry, and it will force download the file. When you get this prompt, click yes. It will download you the file. Click on the file. Then you will get prompted, if you are using Windows 10, you will get prompted for admin rights. Just click yes again. And then Visual Studio Installation Wizard will want you to allow it to check if you have any Visual Studio products already installed and do some minor configurations. Just click continue. So now that we have Visual Studio Installation Wizard open, I will give you a brief overview of its general functionality and the components that it offers us. So the first tab that we have is workloads. This contains all the components that will be used for your development, such as different language environments and stuff like that. Then we have individual components. This part has everything that workloads have, even more, but everything is just displayed in a big chunk, and it's not very convenient and easy to navigate through. But if you want to work with a specific version of .NET, be sure to use it. Then we have language packs. If you want a different language than English, you can select it. You can even install multiple languages. As you can see, there's quite a bit of them. And then we have installation location. This we can use for changing the folder or directory that Microsoft Visual Studio will be installed in. Let's say if you're using two separate disks and you are using SSD and HDD for different purposes, you might find an interest in changing these. So going back to workloads, uh, for a beginner .NET developer, I would suggest you to pick ASP.NET Web Development, um, since it will open you up for an amazing experience developing websites, web APIs, and web applications while using C Sharp. And web development is highly searched and needed skill in the industry, and in the future it might land you with a nicely paying, interesting, prosperous, and your very own first programming job. Uh, Node.js supplements this, since you might be using React.js, AngularJS, so I would suggest you adding this one. It might come in handy. Hmm, I would really suggest you to add .NET Desktop Development. With this pack, you will be able to create console applications, which really helps out when prototyping something in C Sharp, and you will be able to test out different features that you want to implement beforehand in a very small environment. And it's also the smallest and easiest playground for C Sharp. Then we have VPF. VPF would be standard desktop applications. They are very fast and very easy to use and to develop. So you should really try them out. Uh, well, and those are probably the main reasons to add desktop development. Um, then we have gaming development if you're interested in those, but I'm not adding them to beginner list. And from other tool sets, I would recommend you to add data storage and processing. This will extend your database toolkit, and you will be able to have more um, power when dealing with databases, when you'll be using SQLite, SQL Server, and other, since it will be integrated in Visual Studio. As for the other ones, it's totally up to you if you want to add them. They're really good, and as far as I've seen, and as much as I've experienced developing C++ code and Python code in Visual Studio, it was quite good. I would really easily suggest it if you're interested in those. If you will be developing with Unity, uh, Unity will automatically install Visual Studio for you anyway, since they changed their default IDE, which was Mono, I think. Uh, but now it's Visual Studio. So yeah, and when you're finished with selecting everything that you want, oh, by the way, if and when you select one of the workloads, you're able to see what other components you are able to add. And if you see anything that interests you, you should add them. But most of these components that are not selected are not mandatory. Well, none of them are mandatory. They're just extending the functionality that is already being installed when using these um, workloads. So yeah, and when you're finished, just click install, and it will start installing for you while downloading. Also, you can notice that this is the amount of space that you will require when installing the workloads that you selected. So yeah, see you in a bit when my download finishes. Alright, so my Visual Studio just finished downloading and installing, and you should be able to see something similar to this. Um, Currently, as of 2021, um, we can use the latest Visual Studio Community 2019 version. And when you want to launch it, you can click this button. If you want to add additional workloads or components, you can click this button, modify. Um, but when you want to launch it, you can just click launch. Since I have my own projects created on this computer, uh, I still have stuff cluttering this list, but for you it should be empty. And additional thing that I want you to do when starting Visual Studio is that you would click continue without code, and you would add some of the extensions that will be mentioned in the video's description. To add new extensions, you have to click extensions, manage extensions. Mm, and here we can find a few of the ones that I really do love. It's CodeMaid, GitHub extension for Visual Studio. Yeah, so the list of the recommended starter extensions will be given, and I would highly suggest you to download them and install them. The thing that you have to do is just click download. It will schedule it, and when you close it, it should install it automatically. Mm, yeah, and also another thing that I want to mention is that you can change the theme of Visual Studio. Currently, after the installation, it seems like the default one is blue or light theme. Let me try to find where to change these things. So yeah, you go to Tools, go to Options, and you can change it over here. Let's say we want dark theme. Here, and you can select the one that fits you best. All right, so that's pretty much it for preparing and setuping your Visual Studio environment. And you can start developing your own projects, or you can check out my tutorials on YouTube, maybe some other people tutorials, which will help you and guide you through your wonderful developer journey. Good luck and have fun!